Now, what if I told you that languages are just an organized system? What if I told you that this one tip can improve your language learning process by 10 times? Stick around to find out. Now, before I share this tip with you, you need to know one thing. You need to know how a language works. And this means you need to know what a verb is in the language. You need to know what a subject is, which is just I, you, he, she, they, we. And you need to know adjectives, and you need to know how to be able to identify them in a sentence. So this is not for complete beginners, but if you have a general idea, if you have a good base of the language, this tip can take you from just average to above. Now, we all know how important vocabulary is in learning languages. So if you apply this tip, I guarantee that your vocabulary will improve by 10 times if used correctly. So let's start with the verb look in English. Now, look in English can also be looking, which is what we call the present participle. Now, in the past tense, we say I looked with a ed at the end. Now, if you're able to recognize these differences, that is what's going to help you improve your vocabulary. Not only do you know the verb look, now you know looking, and now you also know looked. Now, this can help in many ways, and let me show you how. Let's look at the verb stresser in French. This verb means stress. So if you say stresser, that simply means stress, but if you say stressant, that means stressful. The ANT at the end changes it from stress to stressful, which is an adjective. Now I could use this adjective to describe something. If a situation is stressful, you could say cette situation est stressante, which means this situation is stressful. Now you see how from the verb you are able to generate the adjective? Well, once you get good at this, you can do this for all the verbs in a language, and then that way you can expand your vocabulary. Now, do you see why I say that you can expand your vocabulary by 10 times? Now, if I use the past tense of stressed, which is stressé, that really helps expand your vocabulary as well. For example, you could say that the situation is stressed, or you know a stressed person. For example, if you wanted to say a stressed person in French, you would say une personne stressée. Now you see how stressant, stressé in the past tense, and also stressé, the verb, that's 3 different words that you know now, and you could use them in many different situations. So in order to make sure that you apply this tip that I'm giving you, I want you to go right now, go to your target language, and I want you to make a list. I want you to start with verbs. So you take a verb. Right underneath that verb, I want you to write the adjective related to that verb. Then I want you to write the past participle, which is just how you say past tense. So for example, if it's a verb like look, looked is the past participle. Then I want you to take the present participle, and that is looking, something that we do in the present. He is looking. And I want you to take all these variations, and I want you to notice that this is the key to learning languages. If you're able to identify the patterns, then you don't even have to know these words. Eventually, when you see a new verb, you'll be able to recognize the adjective, the past participle, the present participle. You'll be able to know so many words just by knowing one new verb. All right, so I hope this tip really helped you. Make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and holla back at your boy.